Hello and welcome to the award-winning Waterman Wellness. Your pathway to health and wellness with local experts is your guides. I'm Melissa Hritzik. We have a lot of helpful news you can use in this episode, including women experiencing incontinence issues will want to stay tuned to learn about a specialized physical therapy that can help improve quality of life. This woman is back to running marathons after a minimally invasive procedure corrected a condition that causes a racing heartbeat. And you'll find out why colorful meals can be better for you. We begin this episode with a focus on the guys and important health information about prostate cancer screenings. Recently, a federal task force issued new guidelines on when men should have a prostate-specific antigen, or PSA test. The PSA test, which is a blood draw, is known not to be entirely accurate at detecting cancer, but experts recommend men aged 55 to 69 should discuss the PSA with a doctor, especially if he has family history.
My general practitioner found out through a PSA test that my PSA score was 4.2, which I came to understand is a little bit elevated. My understanding is that 4 is kind of like the upper limit. Anything above that is reason for suspicion. And in his estimation, being that both of my brothers have dealt with this issue, that I definitely need to look into it a little further.
Typically, patients with higher Gleason scores or higher PSAs have slightly more advanced disease, so they do require some additional treatment. The Gleason score is a measure of how aggressive the prostate cancer is.
Spadaro had surgery once cancer was detected. After the procedure, specialists prescribed targeted radiation therapy.
The whole process for me here at the facility that I'm at Waterman has been very good.
Here at Waterman, we work directly with patients and other specialists to come up with the best care. We have advanced technology and we offer patients a wide host of options. So we think that we have state-of-the-art prostate cancer right here in Lake County available for our patients.
If you have a sibling, an uncle, a brother, a father that has prostate cancer, you need to be aware and you need to monitor yourself. It's uncomfortable. It's something we don't want to talk about. It's very personal, the area where the prostate is and all the things that go along with that. But you have to weigh that against the price of death.
You'll find out more about cancer diagnosis and treatment options at fhwatermancancer.com. We turn to heart health in our next story. Local experts acclaim the success rate of a minimally invasive procedure to help patients born with a type of arrhythmia.
I started running when I was about a little bit before my 41st birthday, and I started out just doing 5Ks and just to kind of keep myself healthy. On March 12th of 2016, I ran a 10K race in Winter Park, and about 15-20 minutes after it was over, I was cooled down, and all of a sudden my heart just started to race. So I was with some friends, and they took me over to the emergency personnel, and we told them what was going on. And they took me inside and hooked me up and tried to talk me through different methods that they knew to make your heart rate go down. And nothing was working. And they said, okay, well, we're going to administer some medication, and this should make your heart stop beating so fast. And that's what they did, and sure enough, it worked.
Lowell went to see Tavares cardiologist Miguel Bryce, who immediately diagnosed the problem.
Supraventricular tachycardia is, like I say, the ventricle is the lower chambers, above the ventricle, supraventricular. Those are arrhythmias that, are benign in the way that they are not life-threatening. But when they happen, they are very significant and sometimes very limiting in the lifestyle of the patients. Because the heart rate goes somewhere between 160 to 220 beats per minute. Those are because the patient born with an extra pathway.
And he explained to me that it's something I was born with. I've had it my whole life. The running did not cause me to have what happened to me that day. It could have happened, he said, if I was brushing my teeth.
It's relatively common, actually. It's probably present in around 20 to 30% of the population.
Dr. Bryce gave Lowell 2 options to treat the condition: with medication, which may leave her feeling too lethargic to run, or she could have an outpatient procedure called cardiac ablation.
When we do that, we stimulate the heart to reproduce the tachycardia. We see that the patient indeed has this. We identify where the extra pathway is, and then we advance this catheter, we pinpoint where it is, and we deliver the radio frequency energy, and we eliminate that extra pathway.
They were wonderful, I know that. There was a lot of people. I was surprised at how many people are involved in these procedures. They explained everything they were going to do. My procedure was on April 5th, 2016. On April 17th, I ran a 10K. It was a Healthy Heart 10K. The following week, I ran a 12K. And then about a month and a half later, I ran a half marathon. And I haven't had any incidents since then.
You can learn more about treatment for arrhythmias that is available here in Lake County by visiting fhwatermanheart.com. A former member of the Lake County community who played a large role in enhancing cardiac care in the region is returning in a new role. Abel Beery is the new president and CEO of Florida Hospital Waterman. Most recently, he had been Chief Operating Officer at Florida Hospital Orlando. But before that, he was the COO at the Tavares campus, where he oversaw installation of 2 catheterization labs, as well as expansion of advanced treatment in the Cancer Institute. Beery replaces David Otati, who has been promoted to President and CEO of Adventist Health System's Central Florida North Region. It's time to take a short break, but we'll have plenty more when Waterman Wellness continues. Babysitting can mean big bucks for teenagers. We'll have information about a class that teaches important babysitting skills. You'll find out about therapy that doctors prescribe for women who have incontinence issues. And we'll visit the Conry CREATION Health Center kitchen for a recipe that uses plenty of summer fresh vegetables. You'll find additional health and wellness information in Waterman Wellness magazine. Visit watermanwellness.com to arrange for home delivery. And you'll also find a listing of the specialists featured in this month's episode. First, you may want to check out these upcoming community events. We'll be right back.
It's time for your Creation Health Tip of the Month. Moments of solitude are essential for discovering your true self. Today, find time for personal reflection so you can see more clearly who you really are.
Welcome back to the award-winning Waterman Wellness, your pathway to healthy living with help from local experts. I'm Melissa Hritzik. We turn our attention to women and a common issue that comes with age, urinary incontinence.
There's several different types of urinary incontinence. Specifically, there's stress urinary incontinence and urgency-based incontinence. The more common incontinence faced by women today is stress urinary incontinence, a type of urinary leakage associated with coughing, sneezing, or laughing. Also with exertion.
My symptoms started several years ago, and I thought it was just part of the normal aging process. I was noticing that I had a really strong urgency to use the restroom, that I was having difficulty holding it in. There was hesitancy planning activities with my family, going to the theme parks, going on long car rides, going to the beach and not having access to a restroom.
It can vary from mild to severe, from minimal bother to unable to provide normal activities.
Dr. Gerbach prescribed a combination of medication and pelvic floor therapy for McFarland.
What Annie taught me was how to contract and hold the pelvic muscles. We did a series of exercises with bands and exercise balls to help teach me things that I could do every day at home and at work. The pelvic floor rehab essentially teaches you how to work your pelvic muscles. So when you feel the urgency to use the restroom, you can contract the muscles. No one knows you're doing it right now. No one knows I'm doing it. And control the urge to have to go to the restroom. I continue some of the exercises at home or at work. There's a lot I can do sitting in a chair. There's some that you can do lying down. There's some that you can do standing. So I have just built them into my day. I don't anymore think about, am I gonna have to go to the bathroom? Am I gonna have an accident when I'm out in public? It has given me the freedom to do the things that I love to do. It has been a life changer.
You can find out more about the various options to help with urinary incontinence by visiting fhwaterman.com. We turn our focus to kids in our next story. A Tavares pediatrician wants parents to make sure children are well protected when enjoying summer vacation, particularly when it comes to preventative care while out in the Florida sunshine.
It's interesting to note that 80% of our sun exposure occurs less than age 18 years. Hopefully our kids are outside a lot, and that's good as far as absorption from the sun, producing vitamin D to make our bones and our brain grow. But sun can have detrimental effects too, particularly here in Florida where the sun is so strong.
Dr. Thomas encourages her patients and their parents to apply sunscreen year-round.
As far as picking a sunscreen for a child, the most important factor is the sun protection factor. We want a sun protection factor of 30 or above, which means that the child can be out in the sun for 30 times longer without getting sunburned. We also want a sunscreen that has both UVA and UVB protection. Other than that, you can use any kind of sunscreen. Some children have more sensitive skins, so some sunscreens tend to irritate their skins, and then those families figure out which sunscreen works best for them. The sunscreens that say they'll stay on after you go in the water are water resistant, but they don't stay on forever. So really, in order to protect your child, you should reapply after you go in the water.
Dr. Thomas has good reason for encouraging diligence when applying sunscreen, liberally and frequently.
One bad sunburn in childhood can dramatically increase your risk of skin cancer in adults, the worst of which is malignant melanoma. Also, sun causes premature aging.
You'll find a specialist to help you and your family with all your health and wellness needs by visiting the website on your screen. Did you know that colorful meals with fresh foods translates into more vitamins and nutrients? Next, we visit the Conry CREATION Health Center kitchen to learn a recipe that uses the summer vegetables now in your grocery store. During this summer, we see an abundance of vegetables, so it's a little easier to make some colorful recipes. Today, I'm here with Florida Hospital Waterman Executive Chef Tom Sewell and nutrition specialist Ellen Boyer. Ellen, do you want to tell us a little bit about what we're cooking today?
So we're doing a summer vegetable Primavera, and it's got a lot of different vegetables as well as some beans that have protein. The penne will have some carbohydrates, and then the olive oil will also provide some fat.
Sounds delicious. Tom, would you like to get us started?
Yes, of course. So what we have here today, we have some vegetable oil, we have caramelized onions, some corn, zucchini, yellow squash, sun-dried tomatoes, asparagus, garbanzo beans, penne pasta, feta cheese, we have an herb and lemon mix, and we have just some simple vegetable stock. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to take some oil in the pan. It's a very simple recipe. This is a great recipe to start if you're trying to be a vegetarian. It would be really, really nice. So we're going to just start with some caramelized onions. The thing I love about this recipe too is that just everything is one pan, so the cleanup's a lot easier too.
So this recipe has a variety of macronutrients as well as micronutrients. The penne pasta will provide some carbohydrates, and then the beans will provide a little bit of protein, and then the oil is going to provide some healthy fat. And then the vegetables will provide some micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals that are important as well.
As you can see, it's beautiful colors.
It is.
We're going to put some penne pasta in there. You can substitute if you want. You can do wheat pasta if you like. Or you can do quinoa, you can do any kind of grain, farro. So all you want to do is just mix it up a little bit. Just blend all those flavors. So just let that cook a little bit. It's definitely better to use fresh vegetables while they're in season. But Brussels sprouts would be great this during the winter time, the summertime. Asparagus is great. I mean, there's so many different available. Tomatoes would be great in this as well. So you just want to, again, just make sure you try to build those flavors. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to add the vegetable stock.
So how long do we cook this for?
I would say you want to cook this down for maybe about 2 minutes or so. Okay. Just until you'll just see that it's going to sort of make its own sauce, and that will just give it like a really nice flavor in the vegetables. And then at the end, what we're going to do, we're going to hit it with the fresh herbs. You always want to use fresh herbs towards the end. Always use fresh herbs at the end, because what happens is that the longer you cook them, the more flavors, you're not going to get as much flavor. So it's also going to give it a lot of color as well too.
And what was the herb mixture that you used?
There's some parsley and there's some basil.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're going to top with some feta cheese at the end.
Smells good.
There's your dish.
So if you would like the summer vegetable Primavera recipe, you can visit watermanwellness.com. Speaking of summer, many students are looking for ways to earn money now that school is out. You may know a teenager who wants to take advantage of a local program that trains babysitters.
Our Safe Sitter program is directed toward teens between the ages of 11 and 14, and we follow the National Safe Sitter guidelines. It is fun mixed with serious topics. We also teach how to set up babysitting as a business, so they have to understand that they need to get the correct information, they have to be responsible, and they even need to be able to draw a line saying, no, that's too many children, I'm not able to take care of that many. They teach first aid, they have a reference book that they can take with them in the little packet that we give to them. They'll actually have a backpack with resources in it. And we train them what to do in emergent situations, to have a safety word that their parents would know if they called and gave the safety word, that they wouldn't ask questions, they would just come to get them. And that's really important, and to know when it's appropriate to call in a responsible adult or when it's appropriate to call 911.
The Safe Sitter course will be offered twice this summer. Thursday, July 27th and August 3rd. The class is from 8 to 4 and the cost is $50. Space is limited and registration is required. Contact the Florida Hospital Waterman Education Department at 352-253-3391 to register. Finally, Waterman Wellness wants to congratulate some Lake County High School students who are getting financial help toward pursuing their career dreams. The Florida Hospital Waterman Foundation recently awarded 8 local students, each with $2,000 scholarships. The Edwin Budge Meade Scholarships are the legacy of the first president of the former Waterman Memorial Hospital Association Board of Trustees. Since 2014, $52,000 in scholarships have been awarded through this fund. Congratulations to the 2017 Edwin Budge Meade Scholarship recipients. We hope you've enjoyed this month's episode of Waterman Wellness, your pathway to healthy living with help from local experts. Be sure to watch for the July episode right here on Lake Sumter TV for some of the following stories. Are you getting enough sleep? Our Lake County expert will explain different sleep issues and how to address them. You'll find out about a new resource available to pregnant women who are diagnosed with gestational diabetes. And we'll head back to the Conry CREATION Health Center kitchen for a delicious meal you can make on the grill. To learn more about the experts featured in this program, please visit watermanwellness.com. Until next time, I'm Alyssa Hritzik for the award-winning Waterman Wellness.